A sport of speed and excitement. A test of skill and courage. A challenge to mechanical craftsmanship and ingenuity. And here is drag racing at its best. Take 900 and some cars in over 60 classes. Add drivers and crews. Toss in several thousand eager spectators. Mix well. And pour them into a top-notch drag strip in the world's motor racing capital. Tromp on the gas. And you have the biggest and best national championship drag race in the 7-year history of the event. For the 1961 Nationals, competitors came to Indianapolis from 40 states and Canada to match machines and skill. The Skians Pickering team, with their slowpoke roadster, made it all the way from Vancouver, Washington. Long-distance haul winners. But the longest distance anyone traveled was through the NHRA safety inspection lanes, a route every entry had to take and run successfully to qualify for the meet. Checklists in hand, the trained inspectors gave the cars a point-by-point going over. Front ends, steering, roll bars, brakes, fuel lines, flywheel shields, and on down the list of safety requirements, compiled and continually updated from members' experience and desires in the interest of safer racing. Next step for an okayed car was up on the scales. With cars, as with women, too much weight in the wrong place can create problems. Then, after weigh-in, classification, where horsepower, cubic inches, and weight get a run through the formula and come out a class designation. Throughout the first day, competitors continue to check in and get their cars ready for racing. With the record number of entries, pit space alone could have been a problem, to say nothing of running all the cars in time trials and competition. But with the fine facilities and layout of Raceway Park, smooth operation of all meet activities was possible. From the large main pit area, cars could move readily into the 4-lane inspection area. Then up onto the scales, around past the classification building, and then back into the pits. A second pit area for dragsters made possible 2 staging areas. This allowed more cars to be in position, ready for running. The double-lane track has a 400-foot startup section, the all-important quarter-mile stretch, and a shutdown run more than 2,000 feet long. The return road leads directly back to the pits, past the fuel check area and the tower. Grandstands at the starting line and traps provide seating for thousands of spectators. All in all, one of the finest drag race strips in the country. And with a pit full of eager drivers raring to go, there was only one thing to do.
Will the contestants ready for trial runs move into the staging lanes? All stock cars in lanes 1 and 2. Street machines, modified sports, gas coupes, and sedans in lanes 3 and 4. All roadsters, lane 5. Competition cars and altereds, lane 6. Dragster classes, lane 7, 8, and 9.
The first day of the meet is tune-up time, when time trials are run. Number of cars, dual runs were frequently made with individual results recorded for each lane. In the time trials, drivers get the feel of the track. Car crews start the process of bringing their machines up to top performance levels, something they've done a few dozen times before coming to the meet and will do a dozen more times before the meet is over. The pattern seldom changes. Run. Readjust. Run. Change apart. Run. Break for coffee. Adjust. And it produces results. Sometimes the results aren't exactly what the plans called for, and the track gets the red light. With the track clean, the green light goes on, and the track is open for running again. The trials also give the drivers a chance to check on their competition and perhaps pick up a few clues on the techniques of the various starters. Nothing is left to chance in races where wins are measured in hundredths of a second.
The able dragster stops the clock at 9.31 seconds and 167.54 miles per hour. Now coming to the line is the car for you fans to watch. Moon Eyes, a dragster from California. Here's tough competition in the B dragster class. Don Griffin from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Attention all cars returning to the pit area. Please push your cars on the return road. Do not tow them. Time cards with the results of your run will be handed out near the timing tower.
the time trials continued to thrill the crowds through the first day of the meet. And while there were favorites, at this point there were no sure winners. Only the next few days would tell. On the days of the elimination runs, everyone was up bright and early. Well, nearly everyone. Spacious campgrounds made it possible for contestants with a yen for roughing it to keep their cars close at hand all the time. Where else could you have ham and eggs and tear down an engine at the same time? All right, out of the sack. A quick wash, and away we go. At the track, spectators were back in even greater numbers. During the 4 days of the Nationals, more than 50,000 people came out to watch the fast action of the drags. Cars were trailered from their overnight storage locations back to the pits, where they were made ready for class elimination runs. Ah, come on, Charlie. In the early hours, the staging lanes were opened, and the first cars began to move in. Meet officials in the tower checked last-minute details. Then the word went out to start 'em rolling. Stock classes led off the eliminations. In the F-Stock class, Larry Lang of Wood River, Illinois, makes a good run against Russ Williams of Detroit. On the near side is Bruce Morgan, leader in points for the title of World Stock Champion. The big OS stockers, a new class at this meet, were real crowd pleasers. Here, Don Nicholson in his 409 Chevy takes on a fast Pontiac. And he wins this heat in 12.70 seconds, turning 108.54 miles per hour. Ralph Dees, racing on his home grounds, found tough competition in the A Roadster class in this year's Nationals. The one to beat was fast proving to be the Chrysler-powered Waltz Puffer 2, a new car running in only its second meet. Round of elimination, audience excitement increased to a higher pitch. Pass the pickles, will you, Harry? As the elimination procedure whittled down the number of contestants, some of those remaining were names familiar to drag race fans. Dragmaster Jr. with Dick Bouchette at the wheel. Jess Van de Vander in his hot, modified Roadster. Some were newcomers, like Pete Robinson, a veteran of 5 months, here on the far side running against Jack Chrisman in the Howard Cam Special. One by one, they returned to the pits. The losers to put the wraps on their cars and join the spectators. The winners to tune up and race again. With high centers of gravity are often difficult to control. As an added thrill for spectators and contestants, Tommy Ibo's dragster, powered by 4 Buick engines, made daily exhibition runs. Winners of the elimination heats were routed through the fuel test area, where samples taken from gas tanks were run through various tests to check for presence of nitromethane, alcohol, or other fuel additives. One of the rules of the Nationals is that cars run only on service station grade gasoline. But high performance is the total of a lot of factors, and none is overlooked in preparation for the trophy competition. New plugs in the proper heat range are installed to assure perfect combustion in sudden acceleration and high temperature operation. Valves are adjusted for split-second efficiency. Blowers checked and reinstalled. And like all engine parts, torqued to the proper tightness, an essential for high-performance engines. At high RPMs and temperatures, that extra bit of speed can be found in the oil, and with the critical runs coming up, a change is in order.
Now get set for the big one, folks. It's a trophy run, and who's for Mickey Thompson's big Pontiac Stalker? Who's for Strickland's charging 409 Chevy? Give him the starting flag there, Joe. The Pontiac takes it with a 110.29 miles per hour.
Class by class, it came down to the top 2 cars and the all-important trophy runs. Here's the A-modified sports run. Sam Perriott in his famous Cadillac-powered Curtis. Goodbye starter, Hello Traps. Trophy runs continued, with Jess Vandevanter rolling to an easy class win. In the B dragster class, it was Chuck Starkey in his Chevy-powered car in a win over national class record-holding Music Maker from Dayton. Walt's Puffer 2 was back again for the A Roadster Trophy run against Pete Van Kirk's entry from Brooklyn, winning with a smashing 155.97 miles per hour. Bob Carroll's Fiat Bug raced to a win in the A competition coupe class. The A dragster trophy run pitted the sleek Moon Equipment Company dragster against Gordon Collett's Chrysler-powered Old Blue. Moon Eyes came through for a class win. Excitement was high for the AA dragster trophy run. Pete Robinson had battled his way through many top contenders and now faced the McEwen-Adams Old. Pete covered the quarter in a lightning 8.86 seconds with a top-end speed of 170.77 miles per hour for the win. The last day of the meet, the crowds were back in full force to watch the class winners battle it out for the coveted Eliminator titles. And hard-fought battles they were. Every heat becomes more tense as the field narrows and winners come up to challenge winners.
Here's the trophy run for Street Eliminator, folks. Looks like Future Garrison's Wicked Willie's got a slight lead off the line. He's holding that lead and wins. Here's Ragsdale again facing Sam Perrier. It's the trophy run. It's Ragsdale out in front of the traps, taking the Little Eliminator title. Hey, here's Walt's Puffer 2 back for the Middle Eliminator run for the Repay Alter. The traps is Walt Puffer. Now I see Fred Zipp climbing into the blue Fiat bug. That going A comp has worked its way through a lot of tough machines. Now he's coming to the line to face the surprise car of the year, Pete Robinson's wild-running AA dragster. This is the race we've been waiting for, folks. The Top Eliminator Trophy Run. Pete's up to the line now, winding up that Chevy Bill. And Robinson wins it with an ET of 8.92 and a top-end speed of 169.49 miles per hour. The new Mr. Eliminator.
With the Top Eliminator run completed, every contest had been decided. And to leave no doubt about who the top men were, there were some mighty fine mementos of the occasion. Hearst Campbell presented two beautiful automobiles to the winners in the NHRA World Champion Points Competition for the year's top drivers. A new Pontiac went to the top stock car driver, Bruce Morgan of San Gabriel, California, and a 1961 Thunderbird to Jack Chrisman of Los Angeles, world's champion driver in the competition class. The Best Appearing Car and Crew Award was won by the Marino Monjour team, who brought their handsome B dragster all the way from New Orleans. The Best Engineered Car trophy was awarded to the B-modified roadster of Jess Vandevanter. Street Eliminator winner was Junior Garrison from Kentucky, with the Wicked Willies turning 111.66 miles per hour in 12.44 seconds. Willis Ragsdale took the Little Eliminator honors in his Chevy-powered B Roadster. Walt's Puffer 2, a Chrysler-powered A Roadster, brought the Middle Eliminator victory to Walt Knott, a man who's been trying for a long time and finally made it at 151.77 miles per hour in 10.45 seconds. The Top Eliminator Award went to Pete Robinson, the new national champion and Mr. Eliminator. To the mechanic on the car, DA Lubricant presented a handsome ring. It's a happy day for Pete, top driver of the 1961 Nationals. Hey, Charlie. Well, never mind. There's always next year.